This is my vegan version of a creamy Tom Yum soup or a hot and sour Thai soup that I super love, and I actually also made a noodle soup version by adding in some cooked rice noodles. And we're starting out with the aromatics, which I think are the most important components of a good Tom Yum. And I had some of my homegrown galangal, and I actually got this plant from a family friend, and he gave me like a small piece that kind of just looked like this, and I transferred it onto this huge pot and it grew a bunch, and I finally got to harvest some. I also harvested some lemongrass from my plant, and there's the galangal and the lemongrass. I just gave these a nice rinse, and I also chopped off the top ends of the galangal and lemongrass. I also took out the outer shell of the lemongrass until I got these more tender insides. And these are kaffir lime leaves that I also got from a friend, and these are so fresh from their tree. And these are the fruit that are actually not edible, but I just wanted to show how the fruit looks like, and the leaves are actually the most important part that we're going to use for the Tom Yum soup. And these three are just some of the key components of a good Tom Yum soup, and we're going to make this really nice and creamy Tom Yum that is so perfect for a cold day or pretty much any time of the year as long as you're up for it. For the lemongrass, I simply crushed these and then I sliced them into like 2-inch thick pieces. And for galangal, I sliced a few slices as well, and then I also broke apart the kaffir lime leaf just to release the aroma. I cut some Thai chilies, and then I wedged some tomatoes. And then for the mushrooms, I like to use fresh oyster mushrooms, and I also like to add some canned straw mushrooms and baby corn. So we're gonna stir fry first the onion, garlic, tomatoes, and chilies before adding the aromatics and the vegetable broth. And leave this to cook with a bit of salt to cover the pot, and once it boils, we're gonna add in the mushrooms, baby corn, and then some vegan fish sauce, which is homemade. You can check out the recipe on my blog. Some chili sauce, and also of course fresh lime juice before adding in this vegan coconut evaporated milk to add nice creaminess to the tom yum. And then I serve this in a bowl, and that's pretty much your finished soup. This makes a really big batch, great for upcoming meals. And then of course, if you want a noodle version, I simply cook down some rice noodles. You can also use any of the noodles of your choice, but I love rice noodles. And then the broth here is just seriously so lush, super comforting. It's a perfectly hearty meal. So I had these thin rice noodles, and I actually don't like boiling my rice noodles to keep them nice and chewy, so I just soak these in boiling hot water until they turn into a solid white. Drain the water, and then we're gonna place it in a bowl and then pour in the soup. And I also actually really like to add in some vegan fish balls or like shrimp balls. I got these from like a Taiwanese brand. They're actually really good and very chewy, and of course some cilantro, and that's it. So I hope you enjoy this one.